Welcome back to Lesscashmoremash. My name's Tom.
Noisy Mike.
And today, Blind Fight Friday. You might say, Blind Fight Friday? How much have you drank today? It's only Monday. Well, my wife's away today, so I figured we'd do something new. We'd bring it back to the old school us, the way we used to do it. So, Blind Fight Friday, or what we're doing today is, I left my glasses on the other side of the room. Pause for one second. I'm back. So we were ill-prepared. But anyway, so I've seen on a couple different channels recently that people are saying that Wild Turkey Kentucky Spirits, they're using some of the Camp Nelson stuff, which is, for those of you who may not know, they put it in like Russell's 13, and it's their top-notch stuff. So they're saying this might be the best $57.99 bottle on the market. So we had an old one that we had. This is just Warehouse B. That we liked it when we did it. So they're both 101 proof. It's the same thing. So, and we, super fan of the channel, Steve, came across one that's, the warehouse number is CN-E. So I'm assuming that's one of the Camp Nelson ones. So I wanted to see, can we find it? Can we figure it out? Is one better than the other? So we did the old Blind Fight Friday rules. Mike was out of the room. I poured his. I left the room, he poured mine. We may or may not be drinking the same thing at the same time. You're going to know because I'm going to run it with us. So we can get right into glass number one, or you can get into glass number three because you already did both. But
I didn't sip them.
Yeah.
If you're shopping for these, though, you got to bring glasses because you can't hardly see them.
I'll try to take a picture and I'll show you down below like where they say it's, because it says like the warehouse, the Rick House and stuff. And this one happened to be CN-E. So I'm assuming that's what they were all talking about, and I didn't think I would ever find one, so I wasn't really hot on it. But I want to know, will we be able to tell? Is there a decisive difference between the two of them? That's the question.
I can tell you one. My one is tasty.
Now,
I knew it was gonna.
We've put these in blinds before, and they're just delicious. This is their single barrel program. It's 101 proof. That is very good, whatever one is. But I was really curious on, because I don't think I've been back to this since we put it in blinds.
I don't have one, so I got to put it on my list of.
I think we left it as, you're paying 50 something. I don't know what we paid for the first one.
Same.
So $54.99 for the first one. So you're paying that as opposed to $25 for Wild Turkey 101. You know what I mean? Which is that's your comparison.
What's the other rare breed? What does that go for? Do you remember? Isn't there not the one we killed yesterday? It's over there, isn't it?
Mm-mm.
Oh, there was
still over there. The actual rare breed itself, I just bought one. I got this one on sale for $47.99, and that's 115 proof.
I was gonna say it's only a few dollars more.
Yeah, so it's actually less because this is 57 and 50 something, so it's actually a little bit less. Glass one is very good.
Yes,
we'll move on to glass two. So again, we're both doing them totally blind. So it'll be curious to see whether we're drinking them together or not.
The noses are pretty close.
They are. And again, I'm assuming it says CN on it. I can't get any more Camp Nelson than that. This is going to be tough.
My two seems to be hanging around a little bit longer.
I think that was my one. I'll be honest with you. I'm going to have to go back. I'm going to do a second sip, and it could be it could be just because I cleanse my palate in between too. So in the second sip, I should be able to get a little bit more on it.
They're not overly different in that crazy flavor difference.
No,
to me,
no.
It just seemed like my two seems to be hanging on a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. Again, they're both very good.
No, yes.
You know what I mean? I was hoping it would be like leaps and bounds better, where it's like, oh, not even a question that this one's way better. I'm not in that mode. I'm going to now nitpick on that. Two has a pretty good finish though. It's sitting on there. I did swish it around, but it's definitely sitting on there. I'm thinking my glass one, and I don't know if it's just because it sat in a glass a little bit, because I drank it a little bit.
I'm confused.
My glass one has a little bit more of a, it's like a little darker, a little richer, a little thicker on the nose.
I didn't really get a change in the nose, but
Oh yeah, I'm getting it. I don't know if it's just the way that glass sat or something. Let me just spin them both. But my glass one has a little bit more. I think it's just a little bit thicker, darker, richer flavor coming out.
the noses are pretty damn close.
They're close, but that one just seemed to hit me a little more. Let me go.
That's how my 2 seems.
Now on the palate, that one has like a little bit better viscosity. It has a little bit more flavor. I think that just when I just did that, I'm gonna have to
That's
go
how
back
my
to
2
2.
is.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back to 2.
Not that it. I just seem.
It's not overly drastic, but it definitely when you
Yeah,
it
it seems
just
to hang
seems a
on.
little
My 2
thicker.
seems to hang
Yeah.
on a little bit more, and it seems a little spicier, sparkier.
So my 2 might even be a little spikier, but it doesn't feel as thick or rich. It almost has a little bit more of a peppery pop onto it. Then let me go back to my 1 again.
That's how my 2 is. It's more sparkly
yeah.
or. So now my confusion, if that Camp Nelson's supposed to be the more refined, would that be the 1? And 2 has got the sparkle, but right now I'm leaning towards I like 2 because I like that extra little sparkle. So
I think when I roll it on my tongue, my glass 1 just seems thicker, richer, and more viscous. It stays on there a lot better. Where, I mean, this one, 2 stays on there, but it stays on there with like the rye pop rocky feeling. Where my glass 1, it's like the maker's thickness. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to attribute to something that we relate. Where you know how they always taste like, ooh, they just seem like there's more to it. It just seems. 2 drinks hotter than 1, but
I'll agree. My 2 drinks hotter than 1.
But my
I don't
1,
know if it's hanging.
my 1 seems to have a better. I'm gonna go 2 to 1 this time. Yeah, it just seems thinner on the tongue. My 2 seems thinner on the tongue. I will say that there's not a ginormous difference, and if we weren't drinking them back to back like this, I don't know if I could tell that much of a difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And then,
Yeah.
My 2 has a little more of a sparkle to me, but it does stick on my tongue too. But not that 1 doesn't. It just doesn't. It doesn't seem to be like as rough around the edges. Which, if I'm going with your theory, and Camp Nelson's like a little more premier, it should be a little smoother. But
I'm not worried about how easy it drinks. You can't tell, like when you roll it on your tongue.
we don't know if we're drinking it.
No, it doesn't matter. I'm just saying, but 1 to me is way thicker than in another. My 1 happens to me. My 1 is way thicker. Like when you roll it around, it's bringing more flavors and taste and more thickness than what my 2 does. Like my 2 is still very good, but it gives me more of like the high rye, spiky. And it's thinner, like it's more water-esque without saying water-esque to me.
Yeah, see, my 2 is spikier, but I don't know if it's water-esque because it seems to stick around a little bit longer.
And there was a bad choice of words.
I know where you're going.
I'm talking like
I'm going
thickness of the liquid.
My 1 seems a little more maybe refined, but I don't know if it's carrying many more flavors. I mean, bottom line is that they're almost the same price, so you're really not going to go wrong. But
no, you're right. I'm just trying to think, is 1 decisively better than the other? And I'm going to have to go with... I think my glass 1, the one that's on my left, is a better drinker. I think it drinks thicker. It definitely has a better viscosity. It has more flavor. Not that 2 is a slouch. And 2 is very good. But 2 drinks thinner to me. It does coat well, but it coats more with a proof than it coats with the... Like, this one's just lasting flavor that sits on my tongue for a longer time. So, my glass 1, I would have to think... And you decide, you can make your choice. But my glass 1, I'm going to have to hope it's the Camp Nelson one, because I think 1 is a better glass, in my opinion.
it's a smoother glass. So I'm going that route too, even though I do enjoy the sparkle. But I want to say... So I think I have Camp Nelson on my left, and I have... The B is on my right.
Well, let's see. So you think Camp Nelson is on your left and B is on your right, and it's the opposite. So I put Camp Nelson on your right and B on your left.
So Camp Nelson does drink with a more sparkle to me anyway.
Yeah. So, and on me, I'm thinking Camp Nelson is on my left.
You got yours right.
All right, so Camp Nelson is on the left. To me, it just drinks way more.
My
right.
two is way more of a sparkle.
Yeah, but when you say sparkle, I'm just think about the
But
thickness when you drink. Like it
does
hangs
hang around
on longer.
I shouldn't have changed my mind because originally that's where I was going. Because
Yep.
it did stick. It does stick around longer.
Right, but so
They're both very good.
they are both very good. Again, you're gonna have to align yourself with whoever's palate it was, but they. I picked the Camp Nelson one. I think it definitely has it. I'll be curious if any of you guys get an opportunity to try this. I would highly recommend it. I do believe that the Camp Nelson one is way more flavor, way more taste. But again, it's a matter of what you like. So you liked it because I will say our original bottle to me was spikier with a little more elbows, with a lot more of the rye spice where it stuck on my tongue with the pop rocks and stuff. It's very good.
See, and I had that opposite with me because my second glass was that way.
Yeah, see, my first one...
My first one was pretty... It wasn't that it was super easy, but it was just... It didn't kick as much as my second one. But
yeah, no, see, it just coated better. It was like the texture of the actual thing.
Two did, but...
Yeah. So that's how my one was. That's what I went with. I went with the fact that it was way more viscous.
So I changed my mind thinking that this should be more refined. So that's why I switched.
Well, that's why you kept going to smooth, and I'm like, no, it's all about the flavor. Like I think my glass one is just a better drinker. Like it and not by a
initially I said I liked
two
two better because it had the extra kick.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, it should be the more refined one. But
yeah. No, it is
what it is.
It is what it is.
Don't convince yourself when you just
no. That's the
going
fun
back
part of
and
doing
forth.
blinds because you can change your mind. You can convince yourself you're drinking friggin' Pappy Van Winkle by the end of it. I mean, if you keep changing yourself, over and over again.
Honestly, this one that we do not bring out often is in topic because it's definitely not worth the money.
No, not the bottle we have. I can tell you that. But, well, there you go. This was a fun experiment. Again, we'll be back to Mystery Mash Monday. She happened to be gone today, and Steve did find this bottle the other day, and I really wanted to see if there was a difference. So, for those of you that have this opportunity, I recommend it. If you do happen to see one, and again, I put the picture on here. I'll take a small picture of it. It's where the warehouse is, and it says CN. Ours happens to be CN-E. And if you happen to see them, there is a decisive difference. Not that this one is, the regular one is not bad at all. It's actually very good. But for those of you that are going to say, Wild Turkey 101, it'll be curious to see. But I do think that this one actually was better in flavor. So... But, again, it's an experiment. Leave a comment down below if anyone has tried it. And if you have the opportunity, I recommend it. Again, I give a shout-out to all the other channels that have said something about this because I wouldn't have known anything about it until I heard it. So I was like, I figured if we ever found one, we would try it. So
same label color, and if I'm not shopping with glasses, you're not
going to look at it, right? So that's the only thing that brought us. So let me do it the white one. So there you go. That's Mystery Mash Monday, but not really. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Spend less, drink more. Cheers.